Welcome back to my channel. We are continuing on with our series, Getting Started on Amazon, and branching out a little bit more for what that means and what that will look like to you. So say you got approved to sell on Amazon. What is the next hurdle? What is the next step? And I want to break down what this looks like for you. I talked vaguely about ungating in my last video, and I do want to talk about that and some other things, what that means, what you can do. Once you get approved to sell on Amazon, you're going to go ahead and download the Amazon seller app on your phone, and you can also log into the desktop. You will see the seller dashboard there, your numbers. You can approve. You probably have to go in and approve like your tax ID information and make sure you have a credit card connected. All of those little things can disrupt your ability to list and sell. So I always like to go through with my new sellers and make sure they're properly connected so they can actually list their products. After their account is up and ready to go, the next big step is getting ungated. So you have the Amazon seller app on your phone, and you probably have the Amazon app on your phone. Even if you're not selling right now and you do not have an active seller account, you can use your Amazon app and go into a store and start scanning and see what products you can find and what maybe the price variation from your store to what they're selling for online look like. This is something I actually do a lot of. I don't scan a lot with the Amazon seller app. I like to scan products. So say I'm in a store and I see something on clearance, limited edition, what will I do? I will open up Amazon, I will use the barcode, and I usually scan the picture or the barcode and see, is this product available on Amazon? Does it seem profitable? And if it does, at that point, I will open up the listing and just deep dive a little bit further into the listing to see, is this something I should be selling? Are there any red flags? Who else is selling this product? And then at the bottom of the listing, I will grab what is called the ASIN. And this is a numerical number that identifies that specific listing. I will grab that ASIN and I will copy and paste it into my seller dashboard. At that point, the listing will populate and I will be able to see immediately any restrictions. Can I sell it? Is it hazmat? Anything that I should know when I'm standing in a store. So if you are new and you do this, I think this is a great way to start out. There's nothing wrong with it. If you do not have a process for research yet, it kind of like gives you an idea of what you're looking for, opens your eyes to the wonderful world of reselling. But for most of these products and categories, when you put that ASIN into your seller dashboard, you're going to see you're gated. That means you do not have permission to sell that product. And to sell the product, you just need to get permission. One, I would always click apply to sell. Sometimes you can get auto approved and immediately start selling that product. Otherwise, you're going to have to go through a couple easy steps to submit invoices, get the proper approval, and then start selling the product. Before I go any further into giving you suggestions on where to ungate, I do want to say that for my new sellers jumping in, I like to push them into the grocery category. I like selling groceries. It comes naturally to most of us because we are all buying groceries every week. We know it's in stock around us. We see the limited edition stuff every day. Whereas a category like toys, some of us may not be as familiar with, and there's a higher cost to invest to buy that product to list and sell. And also with grocery, we're always eating. We always need food. So it is just something that comes naturally, I guess. So that being said, if you are new, I would highly suggest getting ungated in the grocery category. Most of those items then, most of those listings, you could get on and start selling as soon as you get approval. But what it looks like is once you get approval to a category, not all the brands will open up. You submit the invoice for grocery, you get ungated to most of the category, and then there are some brands that stick out that you will still need special approval to start selling those products. And in the past, some of the candies, for instance, like Dove candy was what I would say a hard gate, meaning you get ungated in grocery and you still can't sell Dove candy, or Starbucks is a huge one. I know that's not necessarily unless it's Starbucks coffee. I was thinking Starbucks tumblers, but there's a Starbucks coffee. So Starbucks is another one. You would have to submit invoices and to sell Starbucks. This is similar with toys. So you submit invoices and you get ungated in the toy category. But then there are certain brands that are hard gated, like Lego, and you have to submit special invoices and get approval to sell Lego. And I will say a couple other things to note here is I probably, as a new seller, and my new sellers in the Crazy Flippin' Mom community, I would say you don't have to go crazy. When you get started, you don't have to, that would be overwhelming to think of the cost to sell all of the categories, all of the brands that are available on Amazon. I would start with grocery. I would start with, like, if you have a niche or a product already, start there and then expand over time. And if things start popping up naturally to you, I will say that volume of sales in a limited amount of time, like say a 30-day window, has been the best to auto ungate me in other products and categories. So what that means is you do not have to submit invoices to get ungated. There are other ways. If you today started selling grocery and you sold 1,000 units, you would get auto ungated in other products and categories. Now, you don't get a special notice to say hello, but you'll notice that over time you'll see new products like Whitman's and Pop's Tootsie Rolls and Kellogg's cereals. And instead of you're gated, all of a sudden over time, with sales volume, with your good sales history, getting things delivered on time, you will be auto ungated, which means all you have to do is push apply to sell, and then boom, you can sell that product. Again, this is a slower method because it's not an overnight. It's really based on your sales history. If you do have something in mind that you foresee yourself wanting to sell, I probably would go ahead and get invoices and submit those, because then you could be actively selling it in a couple days. Ungating, it used to be this like mythical thing where were you going to buy from? Do you need expert help? And now it is not that. It is a lot more straightforward. I will post several links below of places that you could purchase from and submit invoices in those product brands or categories to get ungated. Basically, you need a good source and you need to buy at least 10 units. And I will also say, when you are buying to ungate, you're not necessarily looking for profitable items. You're really looking for items that are cheap, that you can get 10 of them and submit the invoices. So I usually look for the cheapest option available. Like if you are trying to ungate in something like Burt's Bees, which is a brand that you typically need to get approval to sell in, I would look for something like a chapstick, get the invoice and submit it. And even if you're purchasing 10 units, say on Kohl's, Target, you can go into your sales, your buying history online and pull those invoices. You usually can get ungated easily using those methods as well. All things with Amazon, it's not always as straightforward. Sometimes you need to submit multiple times. A lot of their approval systems, a lot of their seller support tends to be automated. And so if a computer picks up anything random, you can get denied. And that's not the end of the world. You can submit multiple times until you get approved. And this is also a great moment to say community helps, because sometimes it's as simple as asking, like, I'm having a struggle getting ungated in Starbucks. Does anybody have any tips? And sometimes submitting the invoice upside down, so it takes the computer sending it to an actual person to get you approved. Like little things along the way tend to help. But this is really the next hurdle you're going to jump over as you're getting started on Amazon. And it may seem overwhelming at first, especially if you're looking at all of the categories, all the brands, and you're like, oh my God, I have to ungate in all of these. You don't. Start small and expand over time. And the ungating process is not as difficult. Getting approval is not as difficult as it used to be. The last thing is you will come up to restricted products. And that is something you cannot get ungated to sell in. Sometimes Amazon just restricts listings, ASINs over time and then unrestricts them. And that's that. I would encourage you to get ungated in grocery because you have a grocery store around you. So that means if you get ungated tomorrow in grocery, you could start sourcing profitable grocery products to sell on Amazon tomorrow. Yes. Thank you for watching this. I hope it gave you a little bit more direction on step 2 of the process. If you have any questions, I will post some links below on some sites that we have used and been successful on ungating. Have a fantastic day. Bye.